make sure you heard part 1 or saw and heard part 1 before you try to do this part 2, because we just got very important information, which I will be explaining. When they gave you the Holy Scriptures, they told you, oh, astrology is wicked, bad, bad, bad. But these are people that overthrew the whole world with their white supremacy. And they cursed the people of God. Now, this is all God's purpose. But now God's reversing it. We're in a reversal. That's why this is the most auspicious time not to fall away in any way, shape, or form, which I'll go into. And that's why the devil's extra busy, because he really does. Like, they've woken up. See, I try to tell you, if you really reach Revelation 12, it's all about that baby being born. But that baby being born, or that baby waking up, is these Hebrews, the real people of God. So you have people now that are getting distracted, and they're thinking, I'm the problem. How can I be the problem when you've been like a groupie for four years following me? And all of a sudden I'm the problem. But that's because Satan has gotten to them. But just like I said, if I say urgent, there's some type of message. But this is still in the spirit, and it's going to stay that way. See, some people are saying, well, listen, I just got to offer for this or that, or some type of temptation. And they can see that. They can smell it. They can hear it. They can taste it. All 5 senses. Touch it, taste it, smell it, see it, and hear it. So that's what's urgent to them, because they've taken their mind off of this. And believe me, it's a lot of people of color that don't believe it, that are the chosen, like what you could sort of chosen people, so to say. And they don't believe it, because I watch on YouTube when a teacher tries to teach them, and they still won't get it, even though he systematically walks them through. But this is a bad time to be falling away. And it's a bad time to try to make trouble for me, because I've been with this a long time, and this is an ordained minister of God. And I tried to tell a family member, be careful, but they didn't listen. And unfortunately, I was reading Psalms 50 when God brought Psalms 50 to fruition on that person. And from then on, from that first attack, that person stayed that way until I stood over their deathbed. Now again, when you write checks, like Miriam did the same thing. She kept talking trash about Moses. And God finally smacked her down in Numbers 12. And that's why Moses didn't do nothing. It's some things we can't do. Our hands are tied. Anybody will tell you, if somebody helped you in any way, shape, or form, and you try to get loud or get live on that person at some point, when they helped your trifling ass when you was down and out, that's a dangerous move, especially when it's an ordained minister of God. It just hit 3:14 on my audio, and that's that scripture I just used, John 3:14, where Jesus identified himself as Ophiuchus, the 13th constellation. He had the 12, and now he was the 13th, the healer, the serpent healer. So you got to know this stuff. It's higher metaphysics. And these mysteries going to keep coming. So if I'm being shown something, just because you say, well, who cares? It didn't happen to me. Look, I'm busy. I'm out pimping. I'm out on a boat. My wife is pushing me around because I ain't got no pants on. I'm wearing a dress. Or my wife cheating on me, so now I'm with my soulmate now, trying to figure things out. Well, then that's your prerogative is to be distracted. My prerogative is to expose you for the fake, phony-ass fraud that you are, especially if you took some shots my way. No, I have to get all this out so that I don't have to bring it up later on. I can get it all out now, and then I'm going in. So it's hard when the people closest to you are the main ones betraying you, but that's how Satan works, because that's the only way he can get to you. So you got to go through all this shit, self-evaluation and checking things out, because I'm a humble man. I don't want to mislead anybody. But if I'm right, I'm right. And there will be no turning back. And the people that do me dirty any type of way, you will be cursed. Not by me, but by the Most High. But now that I'm back, fully healed, by Ophiuchus. Let's go in. Now again, you have to listen. Now if I don't always say these things. When I say certain things, again, I'm the teacher. You're on my channel. So I'm trying to show you what God is showing me. It's up to you to study and get it. You're not going to study and get it when you keep dropping kids. When your wife say, I want to go on a boat, so you on a boat. Whatever your wife tell you to do, you do it because you ain't man enough to stand up to her. And say, baby, listen, these are some incredible times. See, I hate to tell you this. Now, let me explain something to you, because I get a lot of flack. But see, I've been around women all my life. It's been around like Doberman pinchers. I'm used to it. Let me explain a couple of things to you. It was a gentleman who heard me, and I think he meant well. I think he was trying to like follow me. I say, don't follow me, follow the word of God. That's the first thing I tell anybody. So he had some situations or whatever, and he was ready to get out the marriage and stuff. Now I went out of my way to keep them two together. I used to be on a prayer site, prayerrequest.com. I would be saving people about to commit suicide, begging them people not to die, getting the phone numbers, calling them up. So I always been about that. We're going back 30, 40 years of being about that. Just the way it is. And like I said, I'm not perfect. But if I mess up, I'm not going to blame somebody else. That's some punk shit where I come from. Handle your shit like a man at all times. Even when they're trying to treat you like you ain't. So when messages come, messages come. Now, if you feel a certain way, that's cool. You understand? But don't act like you down with the movement 1 minute and then something change in you. And instead of you saying, okay, listen, I just feel a certain way. I can respect that because like I said, I know this is hard. That's why I ain't even mad at none of these dudes, because I understand how hard it is. You got to really be like I don't mean no disrespect, but you really got to be somewhat of a nerd. Because you just got to be studying and keeping up with God, because God is always moving. So I know it can be frustrating for most people. But that's why God sent people like me and others to keep them awake. But I tolerate no disrespect. I've been doing this for decades. I never disrespect any of my teachers. And I make that perfectly clear to everybody involved from the top on down. I tolerate no disrespect. It's not happening. And that's why I said, the book of James tells you this is why you got people dying around you. This is why you got people getting sick. Because you're going against ordained ministers of God. And he's not having it either. At some point, he's going to act too. Because you see all the work ministers put in for the people. All the tears they shed. All the private prayers. And how they go out their way to keep the people awake. But the people continue to be dumbed down. That's why, if I'm not mistaken, in that description box, I put the videos of the dramas, 2 dramas, of how Moses tried to lead those people out of Egypt into the promised land. And they just kept on rebelling the whole time. And they got so bad that ain't none of them make it in. Not even Moses. Not Moses, not Aaron, not Miriam. Only ones that made it in was Joshua and none. Because they was the only people out of all the millions of people that proved faithful to God. According to the scriptures. So that alone should keep you shaking on your boots. Now, some things been going on. And I try to keep it to myself sometimes. And then sometimes, like what I seen this time, I can't really keep it to myself. That's why you're looking at this picture, which I will explain. You got to understand. Now, I just told you why you have to understand astronomy, mythology, and all that stuff. You got to understand it because it's part of your Bible prophecy. Now, I'll do the more intense part first, but I still got to do the general. All these are messages, and they're all tied in. If any of y'all had a twin flame experience, that's tied in. Twins are directly connected to God's prophecies because they represent the yin and the yang at all times. No matter if it's 2 sisters that are twins, it don't matter. Even Hitler knew that. That's why Hitler was doing all kind of special scientific projects on twins and stuff. Twins are metaphysically connected to the universe. And then you got twin flames and twin souls, and that goes even deeper. You can't get past it. And that's why what y'all looking at, even though this was from 2016, but I will explain it. I'm talking 2018. I'm talking earlier this morning. I'm talking around 12 a.m. this morning. But all that was going on right around the constellation Gemini, which is the twins. You're not going to get past it. The twins in the southwest, up in space, up in the sky. You're not going to get past it. The Bible gave you Jacob and Esau, the twins. You're not going to get past it. See, these are things you need to know to understand Scripture. That's why I said if you want some cooning shit, you got a Bible, but first off, you don't understand the Bible. And then as soon as you get tested, you fall off. So you need to shut up. You don't need to be, like, you need to be humble. I'm not saying you can preach the Bible if you want to, but you should preach the Bible from the viewpoint, you know, I'm learning just like you are, and I got mistakes just like you are, but we'll get through it. See, that's humble. But when you come on turning out the mic like you some type of master teacher, when you can't even manage your own family and shit, the Bible you holding in your hand say if you can't manage your own family, how you gonna manage the things of God? These are just facts. And then you put my name in your mouth or put my name in one of your titles. But I'm the same dude that helped you through all this shit. And I'm the same dude you came running back to when all this shit. Like I said, so let's stop the dumb shit. Let's stop the dumb shit. Know your role and shut your mouth. AKA the rock. But I'm talking about the rock of salvation. Yeshua HaMashiach. So you got to know all this. Spica represents Virgo. But she's the harvester. But she's in a Virgo constellation. Now, all this is talking to you. Your Bible tells you the heavens declare the glory of God. So they're telling you stuff if you know it. But if you're too busy down here or somebody's trying to wake you up and you worrying about what your oppressor taught you. So somebody that's been doing this their whole life, sacrificed their whole life to save your ass. But then this is what you giving back on some coon ass nigga shit. And then think I'm not going to call you on it. Like I think there's a scripture that basically says that we have to bring you to shame. We have to show you how foolish and stupid you are. Pull that fool out the fire. The word of God is alive. It's a sword. It's alive. That's why they be saying cut. Cut. You understand? Like I said, I don't like nobody yelling either on the street corner. But some of the shit they say is true. Wherever the truth is, that's where I tend to be. And I don't care who it comes from. Whenever I'm expecting a package of their vitamins. So I have to deliver. I don't want to be up here and forget. And have it sitting out there on the porch. Now. So before I go in. For some reason it just came in my mind. So. It was a female and she had a drug problem. But she was like a master teacher out here. Plus, just yesterday, I went to 2 different females' channels out here on YouTube. And just seeing how everybody going through something. Because one female, she's got the gift. She's real good with them cards. And so she went from being like, average, not knowing what was about to happen, and then seeing how much the universe was blessing her. So she changed overnight, and I understood what she was doing and why. I totally understood it. I wasn't mad at her. But she was literally balling. It's another chick out here that does good. She does so well that she actually tours. She goes to people's different states and stuff. I haven't been to her channel in a while. But I went to 2 of them. But now the other one been shut down. She was gone for a week, came back, and she did look sick. Something looked wrong with her. And then she was there for a while, then she was gone for 2 weeks. So there's something going on with her life that's kind of messing up her business as well. Or at least her online business. And then the other one, same thing. She goes through different stuff. But one thing I heard, but she made a video and she said she has a job or whatever. So The other female was going through something, but I was always going to be personally close to her. But it's some Cali stuff. Most of my best female friends is all from Cali. And plus this one reminded me of my friend. I got a friend from Pomona, Cali. That's when I met her, she is in Pomona. She's not in Pomona no more. So metaphysically, these people you're drawn to, and probably in previous lives, you was connected. Now all this is coming out your Bible. Because when you read John 3, he tells you, he kind of alludes to it with the serpent, because that's what the serpent does. When you see pictures of the serpent chasing his tail, it's like being reborn. That's what the serpent is known for, reborn. And that's why the scorpion, who I know it's not a serpent, but it's kind of associated with the serpent because it's stinging with the tail or something. But the scorpion has always been associated with the serpent. The Scorpio's in the 8th house. But that can be the house of healing, death and rebirth and resurrection. See, when Jesus was born, they was talking about the taxes. That's the 8th house. Anything with debt and taxes is the 8th house. Even when you pray the Lord's Prayer, you're actually mentioning the 8th house. Forgive us our debt. Talking about the hollow. That's the 8th house. That's the underworld. So this is stuff you need to know. Trying to give dudes like me a hard time, that's just silly. Especially if you came to me. Now, how you going to come to me and then flip it like somehow I'm annoying you or I'm inconveniencing you when you been on my dick for the last 3 or more years? How the hell am I inconveniencing you? So just be a man. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I understand brothers is young. Brothers need some experience in dark stuff or ungodly stuff, but that's their business. Don't bring that to me. I'm an ordained minister. Why fuck my relationship up with God on some punk shit? So anyway, so this female, she really was. She's a master teacher for whatever reason. She was real good. But she just had an addiction problem. So it was just the right time, and I was able to help her at that moment in time. And see her come back. Because she is really out there. And it's sad, but the devil get a grip. And you see it out here on YouTube. Because some of these girls be young. They be like 20. But they be beautiful. But they don't know what they're getting themselves into. See, dudes like me, I done did this. But then they don't listen because they hard-headed and don't listen. And, you know, it's a sad thing when you see a female come out here that's almost beautiful, almost angelic. I still remember this one female. She was beautiful, angelic, and she could write her ass off. She could sing. I mean, she had it all. But she just wanted to get out. She wanted to be with them thugs. She wanted to be getting high and getting drunk and all that shit. And the next thing I seen her, she looked fucked up. She is only like 20 years old. And she looked like she was 40 or something. And then she was still trying to sing and shit. She sounded horrible and shit. So the devil real. So that's why I said, don't ever, if you have any sense in your mind, don't ever make problems with me. All I do is help people. I'm an ordained minister, bro. Or at least wait till I do fall. Now, if you want to get at me, wait till I fall, because then God will be on your side. But right now, God on my side. So that's the worst mistake you can make, to try to play me out sideways, any way, shape, or form. And never don't put my name up on shit, nigga, unless you want some demons coming your way. And it's not me sending them. That's why a dude told me I was in a car, I was in a head-on collision and shit. Yeah, because you slandering, nigga. But thank God he wasn't hurt. But he was on a head-on collision with a truck or some shit. That's the nigga that posted, is my name in the video. No, that's my nigga. At the end of the day, I got nothing but love for these niggas. But they hard-headed. Then, but you got to watch it come out your mouth. And then that said was a lady I had with a big old mouth. She lost everything. Something like 14 earthquakes. No. Yeah, I forget. Like, yeah, 14 earthquakes in 24 hours. And you ain't never hear from her again. And next time her people said she was dead. But she was always talking shit about everybody. Never think you bigger than God. Especially if you're immoral. Because if you was really a man of God, this is what you would do. If you got issues with your wife, you try to work them out. If they ain't working out and she's with other men or whatever, then You have to. You scripturally obligated. You scripturally obligated. Because you can't be with somebody that's that immoral around you and all that. Scripturally obligated. Then if you want to go talk to somebody else, once that is handled, that's when you go talk to another person. You don't be with another woman while you still married. No matter what the marriage is like. That's still adultery. Do it the way God told you to. That's why I said, for now on, when I come out here, it's just got to be a teaching ministry. Because there's too many people that don't want to serve God, but they act like they do, but they all groupie on my energy. Then it's fucking me up because people I could be helping, I'm dealing with these peons and shit. And I be trying to help them, but it's only so much you can help a grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman. So me and that other female that I did help, I helped her get off the drug or whatever. But you know, we never could connect. The timing was all bad. And then as time goes on, you just drift apart. And then, you know, age. But she told me something. The wisest thing she said to me was, she said, how you going to be in a relationship with anybody when you changing every day? She said, you changing within yourself every day. So how are you going to be in a relationship with somebody else? She said that's one of the wisest things somebody's ever said to me. And she's kind of right. I'm not saying I fully agree, but I definitely understand what she's talking about. So now, earlier this morning, a lot of first I was on, you could say, looking at my front door, which would be called like the south side, like this looking south. Now immediately, I saw, you could go to Rap the News because he's got this. But one thing about these so-called UFOs, they be blinking though. So you might even think they planes or whatever, but they not. Because the way they was moving, they was conscious. But Rap the News be showing you. Because I knew I saw two moving through, blinking. But I always see stuff over in that area. Because like I said, it's worlds all around you. I've always taught that. It's worlds all around you. And that's why they say if you think you just saw something out the corner of your eye or something, you probably did. But it's different dimensions. Things be coming in and out of dimensions and everything. So that's why I saw the blinking lights. First it looked like two. Then it was one. But once I see something with my eyes, I'm usually correct. So I know it was two. So I just kept looking. But it's clouds up there. And they're going in and out and in and out. And then you could see the second light would start blinking again. But they was playing. Not like planes. Like they look. Like if you looked up there, you would think it was maybe a plane. But they was moving like... These was conscious lights, but the fact that they blink, it really blows my mind. Why do they need to blink? But they really blink like you would think. But see, there was a movie out about ships that are intelligent. Like, you know, I'm saying ships, but whatever you want to call them. I guess you would say plane or something. But you see that Rap the News got that. And they be going, not only do they be going in and out of, because one time you'll look, it'll be two, then all of a sudden three will appear, because they're coming in and out of dimensions, which is kind of sweet. So they on some shit we don't understand yet, because we're like, how can you be in one location and then in another location like that? But they do it. Then they can take off at fast rates if they want to. And then they can even like go inside each other, which is real crazy. But you see all that on YouTube. Like I said, Rap the News got that. But I saw the same thing. One that was early morning. It was still dark outside. But it was early morning. Because I went to the store or whatever. And then they was coming my way. Just two of them. Just saying like they'll fly close together. Like real close together. And they were just flying. And so I'm just sitting there because I don't know what to do. But I had my headlights on, so I knew to turn my headlights off. So I just sat in my car, and they just looked. And then they one went to the west, and the other one went to the south. But I know there wasn't no airplanes. I ain't never seen no junk like that. So it was like UFOs. But I see that all the time. When you look up in the sky and stuff, you can see it, and you can kind of tell these ain't no planes. But they'll be flashing lights, though. You would think they was planes, but ain't no planes. And what I saw last night was definitely no planes, because they was actually like you see two birds playing with each other in the sky. That's what they was doing. And you see the same stuff on YouTube. So that was in the south of the house. Now, at some other point, around 12ish or so, I went to the that was the south. Yeah, if I was saying south is north, say my front door is the north. So if I was saying south, I meant to say north. My back door is south. So when I went to the south, that I saw more or less what y'all looking at, but it was still different. The moon was just starting to come up off the southeast, and Jupiter was up a little bit higher. And then, which I think is Spica, it was further away. But it's kind of difficult because it could be Regulus or Spica, but it probably was Spica, and that's Virgo. In fact, I can definitively, just give me 1 minute. I'm gonna go to Earth Sky. Now, my twin's name is Rosa or Razohag. Razohag is a constellation associated with Ophiuchus. But this is all about the divine feminine, the divine mother. See, this is the real spirituality. What y'all have from Bible. If you just going by what you learn from your church or from white supremacy, that's white supremacy. That has nothing to do with God. That had to do with keeping your ass in place so that they could go ahead and rule the planet for a long time, but their time is up. So now the truth is coming out. But you got coons. Like I said, if somebody been following you, because it's funny how people following me for years, as soon as I started preaching what God told me to preach, which was hell, all these people start falling off. Because you're dealing with coons and they got spirits on them that they don't want to get off. And if they're not careful, them spirits going to take them into hell. That's what this whole system has done. That's why they tell you it's a demonocracy. It's to take your ass into hell. Everything. Like, if you don't hear nobody saying salvation through Messiah and stuff like that, them people hellbound. And that's why, if you notice, these niggas is running. That's why Craig Mack knew he was about to die. He knew 7 months in advance he was going to die. And that's when he ran. Well, he ran 2012. 2012 he ran to this dude to get help. And that was some Freemasonry shit. Because on one of my channels, I even showed that minister got his arm around Craig Mack. And Craig Mack is still standing with that Masonic sign. These is all Freemasons. But what people don't understand about Freemasonry, Freemasonry is weird. Because a lot of those people, because they get knowledge, so they think they're not deceived. And a lot of Freemasons still believe in heaven and still believe, you know. But they like, because if you, I don't know what the Pope Francis is, but he talks a lot of stuff about the devil. And he talks a lot of stuff about the mob. But like, he's a leading Jesuit. So it's crazy. But I'm just saying, God will make the final decision of who go to hell and who don't. But if you're not really preaching salvation through Messiah, you gonna have problems. And then for Hebrews, they got Abraham, so they can but either way they're gonna have to bow down to something messianic at some point. Alright, so I'm trying to see what it is. Just give me one more moment. So pretty much I'm gonna say it was Spicker, because I'm not getting no definitive answer from Earth Sky. And when you go to those charts, it's just one of them things. Like, It's one of them things. But it's either Regulus, the Lion, or Spica. But I'm pretty sure it was Spica. Because I'm telling you, these charts don't always agree. And sometimes the distance is different as well. But all these are messages is what I'm trying to tell you. And this is why you have to know this stuff. So anyway, the moon was coming up in the southeast. Jupiter was... You would have to move this because this was the closest thing I could find. But the moon was going more to your left. But it was just coming up. And this was early this morning, like around 12 a.m. Spica would have been more in the middle. Not Spica, Jupiter would have been more in the middle. But then Spica was up, which was unique because almost every picture I seen, when I said I typed in Moon, Jupiter, Spica, Spica's always at the bottom like you see. But this time it was up. It was like further up. So you had the moon, what I would call a moon rising in the southeast. Jupiter in mid space. And then Spica further up. But Spica was so dense you could barely see it. Because there was clouds out there. But you was able to see everything. So these are all messages. And like I keep trying to tell people, you have people that say, oh, you know, we hear the same thing over and over again. No, you don't. Because these people are just beginning to wake up. More and more people. Even in the Christian church, more and more people are waking up and saying we're Hebrews. So you ain't never see that before. So Bible prophecy is being fulfilled right before your eyes. And like I said, to have seen the ministry, if you've been associated with this ministry, all the shit I've done out here, and you still don't get it, it's something wrong with you. And that's why I got to watch who I talk to. Because I'm going to start doubting just like them. Because that's what that is. Because if you really believe this stuff, believe me, you wouldn't. Like if you really believed in hell, couldn't nobody tempt you? Eternity, burning in hell, being tortured and shit. Couldn't nobody tempt you again. But if you don't believe it. But I keep trying to tell you, this devil, that's where he's going. This devil that gave you all this religion and all that, that's where he's going. So of course he don't want you to believe it. So of course he's going to fill your TV sets and everything about you with stupid shit. This is something you got, like I said, you got to be like a nerd. You got to really be studying and stuff. You got to just make sure whatever you associate yourself with is this type of stuff. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. And God's not joking. Some people think, oh, well, you know, I supported this. But that don't mean nothing. You got to be faithful. That's why I told people about Ananias and Sapphira. They said, listen, we're not going to give everything. We'll give some of it, but we're going to keep the rest, but we'll act like we did. So Peter could have said, hey, listen, we don't appreciate you lying to us, but since you did do something, you know, we'll work something out. Peter's like, nah, you just lied. You just lied to God and the Holy Spirit, and they fell out dead. It's the same God. It's just that he strikes like a viper. He'll just sit. And that's why I said all of a sudden, somebody telling you, oh, a truck totaled my car, I could have died. I call that a wake-up call. It could be. Now, don't get me wrong. If you really obeying, but like if you're not obeying God, why would, you know what I'm saying? The devil ain't got to strike you with no truck because you already in disobedience. You're exactly where he wants you to be. So that's why I said that's like, to me, a wake-up call. And then if you come running back to the same source you said, whatever you said, and put my name on in your title, but you come back and running to me for help again, you understand? It's something wrong with you, not me. So it don't stop here. So now, now keep in mind, this is early in the morning when I'm looking at this. And I'm already got an eerie feeling because, like I said, it'd be dark. You know, other people sleep. I'm walking around a dark house. I don't want to turn the lights on, waking people up. So I always do this. But I be looking out the windows and stuff a lot. I be seeing all kind of shit. I just don't always talk about it. Because that's another reason why people say, oh, this dude always talking about boom, boom, boom. But I'm just awake, bro. And obviously God talking back because I'm always seeing something. Like I said, when this thing came, I don't know what it was. Now, Mom Dude saw it. And even Mom Dude said that's some weird shit. And I'll tell you some other shit that just happened. And even she said, man, that's some weird shit. She didn't say that's some weird shit, but she said, but she noticed it was weird. So some literally came to the front door. That same area I'm talking about in the north sky. Because it's all kind of, I think it's all kind of portals and stuff up there. I really do. Because I just be seeing too much. Plus, I see them everywhere though. They everywhere. Light portals, you name it. And she's starting to see some of it. But that's because I keep trying to tell you, we're getting closer and closer to the end of third dimensional. So even an average person can start to perceive stuff. That's kind of like what you would call higher dimensions. And your church ain't going to tell you that. And I don't mean no disrespect, but if you flying around with your wife or on boats all the time and all that, you ain't going to see it either. And then the one person trying to help you, you cutting that person off. Why? Because them demons inside of you is pulling more, you getting pulled more and more and more. And you're self-righteous ass, because I told this dude, you have to have a ministry. He didn't want to do that. Then he was kind of like relying on me, I guess. And I understood what it was. So I'm trying to look out for this dude. So now he's rejecting that. So you pulling yourself more and more and more into the abyss of hell. That little bit of knowledge, you know, ain't going to save you. And because you did a couple of good things, that's not going to save you, because you're in disobedience. And you loving the creation more than you love the creator. So now, again, so while I'm looking up trying to see what's going on, is that speaker trying to really figure out what's going on, I see some movement that was weird up in the sky. It was moving, and it was moving like towards me, but it's up there, but it's moving towards me. And I got a little scared real quick, but something was like, don't be scared, just look at it. And so I looked at it, and it was 3 white birds. Like their belly, I could just see their belly, but their belly was white because the reflection was up, but the bellies was all white. I'm not saying they was all white birds. I don't know, but they could have been. But what was they doing out there at that time in the morning? They go to sleep. As soon as it get dark, they go. Everybody knows that. Sometimes you see them out there, but for the most part, most birds go to sleep as soon as it started getting dark. Everybody know that. Just the chirping stop, everything. And there was 3, but they was flying in unison. That shit bugged me out, and it flew over me. Now, I already did my research, but that's a good sign. But I'm not saying it was just a good sign for me. See, I'm saying the moon represents the design feminine. All that southeast, all that means stuff too. Jupiter, again. But when you do with JU, anything JU, Judah, Jupiter, anything JU, that's a good sign. Because that's kind of like the male. The male. Like anybody that really, see, that's why I say people want to understand twin flames. You'll never understand twin flames until you understand metaphysics. Because Jupiter is a big assistance to twin flames. Big assistance. Always has been. And Venus is too, because Jupiter and Venus, I think that's her father or something. I forget. And then Spicker works with Virgo, the harvester. But what those white birds flowed, like I never see. Like y'all just gotta understand what I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, because I be outside. I don't be seeing no birds flying like that in the daytime. So this is divine timing. This is why I do what I do. And that's why I said, when somebody's acts like I'm annoying them, or you're annoying me. First off, you've been a groupie on my jock for 3 or 4 years. So how am I annoying you? And if you felt a certain way, why did you just not say it like a man? Instead of ducking me and doing all this stupid shit. You could have just said, listen, I just feel a certain way right now. No disrespect to you, but I said, cool. Like I said, I got a little dude, he always in some shit. But at the same time, I understand it. He's younger than me. So I understand what he's doing, but I'd be like, dude, you messing around with stuff that you could lose your life forever. See, I understand your zodiac sign and you want to have knowledge and you want to know everything and know everybody. I get it. But you got to watch where you walk in. Because some shit you're not going to be able to come back from. And if you study your Bible, a priest, God put them mugs to death. So certain words you don't put in your mouth unless you really about that. So now that was a powerful sign. But now we go back to earlier what happened in the daytime. Now, like I said, now that I looked outside, I heard wind. See, the wind is the divine feminine too. That's her judgment too. And that's the only reason why I looked out my window. And when I looked out my window, that cop was over there. I already did the video, so y'all can watch that. I'm not going to go over that whole thing. But I already did the video. So I didn't know why the cop was there till later on. So it's been this vehicle. See, my neighbors, a lot of weird stuff be happening over their house. And their house was either, because even some, like the other person that live here, even they said to me, there's something going on in that house. Even they could see it, because I could see it. But I done seen it all over there. You know what I'm saying? Just supernatural, all kind of crazy stuff. And these are Jehovah's Witnesses. But if you notice, they always, that name, Jehovah's Witnesses, is always in the news. Like I was studying more about Craig Mack, and then somebody was talking about Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince. Well, we knew he was a Jehovah's Witness, but I don't know if y'all knew he was an elder. One thing said Prince was actually an elder of Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's crazy. But that just shows you, I keep trying to tell you, it's people on this planet that are in different dimensions. And that's how Prince was. Prince was a real, like he was a cool dude on one level if you knew him, because he would crack jokes with you and hang out with you. But on other levels, he was like a mystical, like weird. That's like the time. Like Morris Day did an interview. And because the time used to kind of say it, but you thought it was just entertainment. But even in that movie, they didn't get along. In the movie, Prince and Morris Day didn't get along. Purple Rain. And then really Morris Day became, that was Prince's idea for him to dress up like that. And where Prince was taking Rick James, because him and Rick James liked Prince, but where Rick was a real street dude. So in the street, you're going to get bullied until you stand up for yourself. So Prince wasn't with the bully stuff, but Prince could outsmart you. He was strategical. He was like rather he was a Scorpio. I don't know what Prince was, but he acted like he had a lot of Scorpio in him. He was very sneaky, manipulative, and he's going to outsmart you. He's not going to try to duke it out with you, because that just wasn't his nature. Because Prince, like, if you understand metaphysics, he was beautiful, because he was showing you the divine feminine. And I understand metaphysics. But it's hard because you got the scriptures as well. But I'm always going to tell you, there's always going to be a tug of war between the divine feminine, which represents, say, the New Testament, more so. I mean the Old Testament, the moon and the Old Testament. And then you got the New Testament where the sun came on the scene. That's the divine masculine. But she's in everything. So you can say, yeah, Prince did this and Prince did that and Prince did that. But he showed you a lot. That's all I'm saying. And as far as I'm trying to teach y'all, everybody makes choices. Like, I might be watching TV. A video might come on, it's highly sexual and highly seductive. Now, I could choose to turn to something else, but I'm more in tune with that. So I sit there and watch that video. But maybe that video is taking me into hell. But you can blame the artist. You can blame the record company. You can blame the devil. But that person still made a choice. That's how it really goes down, whether you know it. You can blame it all you want. Just like I said, a man will take a gun and shoot another man. You manipulated my daughter. You made my daughter boom, boom, boom. But if she wasn't enforced, she still made some decisions. Now, I'm not saying, because somebody told me one time, well, they're not innocent. And I understand what you're saying. But we was talking about girls being killed and raped and robbed. I'm not agreeing with that. But when we talk about hell, you are making decisions. And there are different avenues you could take. That's just a fact. And I'm sorry if y'all don't understand what I'm saying. But the bottom line is, you can make a choice to hang out with that nerdy guy, or you can make a choice to hang out with the thugs. You want to hang out with the thugs. So if the penalty for that lifestyle is hell, that's a choice you made. I'm not telling you who's bad. I don't think nobody's really bad. You're being played out. This is why I say I'm a minister. All we do is argue with God. This is what you don't know what ministers do. They cry out. That's why he puts Moses in their place. The Grox 1 tried to teach you this. The Grox 1 says, like, we have to put the sheep to bed. This is what the Grox 1 said one time. We have to put the sheep to bed because the sheep don't realize the warfare we go into. And then he also said, you guys don't understand Moses. How Moses, God said, I'm going to kill all these people. And Moses said, no, you're not. The Grox said that. See, these are people that know what I'm talking about. But if you're not really, that's why I said when you put priest in your mouth, first you got to really be a priest. But you can still do it. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. You can do whatever you want to. But you're not thinking about the metaphysics. Because it's almost like you challenging God. That's like me saying I'm Jesus. You got to really be that. Like if somebody said I'm Jesus, but they was really acting in a way that Jesus would act, God probably ain't going to touch him. Because he's not upset because you saying you Jesus. He knows you're not Jesus. But don't say you Jesus when you ain't doing what Jesus would do. And you can't explain it to me because I'm not God. You can't send me an email saying, no, no, no. It's not my job. Because first off, I can't judge you anyway. I got no authority. Second off, I'm ordered to go by what I hear. You understand? So I can't make that decision. See, I fear God. I'm under authority. That's why when I preach, y'all might say, oh, he's arrogant. Oh, yeah. No, I'm just preaching. But I know who my boss is. I know who my mama is. I know who my daddy is. I know what to do and what not to do. And if I fuck up, I know who to go to and say, I'm sorry, I messed up. I'm under authority at all times. It ain't a damn thing I do out here. Now, all this other stuff that I do to teach, that's called teaching. I'm ordained to do that. You might not like the way I do it. You may think, oh, he's wrong. That's your business. You have to study more. Like somebody told me one time, study more. You have to study more. Find out what really is going on. And all your answers are not just going to be in one location. Do you know history? Do you know why things got changed? Do you know all that? Do you understand metaphysics? Because until you understand all that, you'll never really understand what I'm doing. So that was powerful to see those doves fly like that. Because honestly, you could ask. And maybe they chose to stay together because it was so dark out there. I don't know. But it still was divine timing. Because all this went on when I was trying to see, is that Spica? Like I knew one was Jupiter. And I knew one was the moon. But I like, what is that other one? Is that Spica or is that Regulus? Because I'm a Leo. So the heart of the lion is Regulus. But that's all I could see. Because Spica was way further away from Jupiter at that time. And you could say, well, look at the space chart. But still, when it's dark like that, it's still hard to tell. And I was still, like, it just was way farther away than I would have thought. And the space chart is not precise. Like, sometimes it's not, things are not arranged. You know, you just can't go by the space. It was cloudy. You really couldn't tell. And you had to ask yourself, which star is brighter? Is it Regulus or Spica? And usually Spica is more visible than Regulus. Because you can see Regulus too. But all that was like a message. And when they was flying that way. But it was almost eerie to the point first because I felt a little fear and some said, don't be afraid, look at it. And I just looked at it and you could see their breath, but it was all white. And they were just flying, but it was 3 of them. And I didn't want to sound like Christianity. I didn't want to go Father, Son, and like the Trinity and nothing. But that was something that's like I see a lot of supernatural stuff, but that's one of the ones that I would say was most spiritual, metaphysical, mystical, kind of almost like Egypt, back in the old days of Egypt. Because that was one of the most mystical things I've ever seen. Because that wasn't like UFO. Because like with UFOs, we see them, but somehow we be laughing at the same time. You know, because at the end of the day, that's just a higher life, whatever it is. So it's not that, you know, but that was something. Them birds, that was something, man. But all that was good fortune. And birds, I looked it up. But even with Jupiter and stuff. But this is ways God talks to you. To tell you, keep doing what I told you to do. Like I said, one bad apple can't spoil the whole show. And, you know, I'll leave it at that. So now going back to this other house. So like I said, so they Jehovah's Witnesses. So this is the weird part. This is where it gets real weird. If you made it to this part of the video, God bless you. This is where it gets real weird. So now they got other people living in this house. Why? Because that house got something going on. So first they try to get some cat. They got a cat. Because they say cats can get spirits out your house. So these are Jehovah's Witnesses, but they still relying on mysticism and supernatural stuff. So they had a cat, but what happened was the cat started having kittens. It was a female cat. So then they had to get rid of all of them because they're not going to feed all them cats. So they got rid of all of them. But one time I just happened to park my car over because they be trying to start with me. But this is how I know I'm dealing with people with spirits. Whenever somebody just be trying to pick a fight, that's somebody that got, because you can say, oh, that's just the way so-and-so is, or that's just the way a certain gender is. No, it's not. That's some evil shit that you're supposed to be getting deliverance from. Because I ain't never did nothing to these people. That's why, like, it used to bother me, but once I became more and more what I do now, like, I just rely on God. I just rely on the metaphysics. And I know people, and like, God took me out. Like I said, I thank God for what he did for me. I ain't had to deal with none of this stupid shit. So I thank God. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That's one of the best things God did for me. When I gotta go back, it's gonna be literally one of the worst days of my life to have to go back to that crazy ass world. So they was always picking fights with me and just lying and just trying to get inside your head and just doing stupid shit. But it don't bother me no more because I know they got spirits on them, and that's why your house is fucked up. That's why you can't even walk around in your own house with the lights off because you scared and shit. But that's the evil you bring because you go to the Kingdom Hall, and this could be it could be the church. So I'm not attacking Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm attacking these Jehovah's Witnesses. So you go into the Kingdom Hall like you one thing, but you actually evil, and you got evil in you, both of y'all. And that evil is being seen. That evil that you projecting out secretly is coming back to you. So now you got issues in your house. Now I never did none of them people. They're like family. At the end of the day, she's almost, I could say that she's like a sister to me. We all grew up as kids together. I don't got no problems with these people, but they just crazy. And that's why I said I can't do this no more. I don't have to do it no more. My job is to teach. My job is not to be putting up with all that bullshit. I'm not going to do it. For anybody. So now they got some people to live in that house with them. Because I think they was that scared. Because they ain't never had no people living in the house before. Like I said, these people go back as far as me. We talking about 30, 40, well, definitely well over 30 years. And these are the people that threw a big party on September 23rd. And that was a big Virgo day. So it was kind of, because they used to throw parties like that 30 years ago. Now keep in mind, everything I'm seeing is coming from the direction of their house. And so she was going with her car, but they always be leaving. Like, it just be a lot of weird stuff going on at that house lately. Like this all started, I would say probably towards the end of last year, maybe after September 23rd. But they just got weird shit going on, and you can't keep up with it no more. Because she be coming and going and all that, and all just crazy shit goes on over at that place. Oh yeah, so one time I parked my car over there. This is what I was trying to tell y'all. So they never used to park in this spot. Every now and then, when we get our grass cut, I gotta move my car. So then they try to make it seem like that was a problem. So then they try to like put the garbage cans in the way, and I just moved the garbage cans out the way and parked there anyway. And then like then she starts parking her car there, which she never did before. So then one time I parked my car there and I saw something dead. I said, well, what the hell is that? And why is it, it was right where they put them garbage cans. I said, what is that thing that's dead? And it kind of looked like a rat, but it might have been a squirrel. I don't know. But, because they got, when you got cats, anything could happen. But I think that was an omen. See, like shit, what I be trying to tell you, when I tell y'all divine timing, I'm trying to tell y'all, this is something that happened that God wants to see. Now, right away, people say, what does that have to do with me? Well, if you're listening, don't BS with God. That's one of the main things I'm trying to tell you. Plus, I'm trying to tell you, if all you're doing is following like a routine, then you're nowhere where God needs you to be. Because you also should be getting messages from God. That's why Jesus said, when you see all these things happening on earth, look up. But most people are looking on earth. And that's why I said, and they try to make me out to be the bad guy. But you're really not supposed to begin. Because I'm trying to tell you, almost everything you're dealing with has some type of Freemasonry tone to it. And that stuff is hellbound. Unless somebody's talking about, I'm only talking biblically. Because I know people are going to try to tell me about other shit. Biblically speaking, if you're some type of Christian or whatever, you better have a Messiah. You got to have a Messiah if you're a Christian. Now, if you're Hebrew, you got Abraham. So this is stuff you got to learn. Because I'm not God. I don't know everything. But I'm just telling you facts. And you got to watch what come out your mouth. Because Jesus said your mouth is either going to assist you or convict you. And you are still under that God. And the more, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. The more them Hebrews wake up, the more God is going to become more realer and realer. But it might not be like, wow, he's coming out the east. It's spiritual. Like these devils, I told you, he's the viper. They're not going to see it coming. When they get destroyed in fiery destruction, they're not going to see it coming. This is all worked out. That's why I studied with y'all Exodus chapter 14 to show you how God does it. We did Daniel 11. I've done my job. It's up to you to pick them scriptures up and read and study. It's up to you to realize you got to come out the world. Or at least watch what come out your mouth. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Because you curse yourself. And it don't matter what I say. Because I can't do nothing for you anyway. I can't save you. Like me personally, I just wouldn't say certain things. I would not. Like you don't hear me say no. That's why you watch me. I don't come out here with no big titles. If anything, I say pastor. That's like a humble title. And if it was a big deal, I stop saying that. But I don't play that shit. See, I know the true God. I'm not with this. Anybody trying to use the name of Jesus to make money and all that, you might have to pay for that. That's hell. That's why Jesus said you might have the big houses now, but you're not going to have it when you in hell. So that's why I try to tell you, you got to be careful. Because you could say, man, I don't like Christianity because blah, blah, blah. But then you do it too. Oh, I got a robe on. And it's all right to have a robe on if the motive is right. But if the motive is wrong, you the same way as these preachers acting like they more than what they... Oh, my name is Doctor, Reverend, blah, 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 blah. Holy, most holy, holiest of the holier. All them motherfuckers on the way to hell. That's what they are. They hellbound. Ain't gonna be no holy in hell. Change the word holy to hell. Most helliest of the hell. Most burning in hell. So now that I know this truth, I got this peace. I don't have to worry. All I do is pray for people. I keep my family. I stay prayed up on my family. Because I know this is real. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell y'all we at the peak. According to scriptures, with these people waking up, these so-called Hebrews, we at the peak, bro. This is not no time to be coming up with no new way of thinking. This is the time to find your place, however you want to do it, in the presence of God. And I don't care what it'll look like. The moment you try to make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about, especially if you've been following me for 3 or 4 years, then there's something wrong with you. Them spirits done took you over. Because I seen when it happened. I seen when everybody started acting funny. All this shit got to do with moons and all these full moons and 2 full moons and one night blue moon and September 23rd and black sun. All this is moving people to a certain point. It should be moving you closer to God. And if it is good, I'm glad. Because that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been fighting for all these decades. But if it's moving you more into the world and all that, then bro, you playing with death. So anyway, so this other female, for some reason she leaves. But it's just weird stuff going on. So it's hard to know what's going on with these people. But ultimately, it's going to affect me in one way or another. I've seen it too many times. And that's why they say, oh, you know, you sound narcissistic. No. When you serving God, you become targeted. That's how you know you really serving God. When you become targeted. You see it in the Bible everywhere. So anyway, to make a long story short, this vehicle has in the same spot. There's been a big whatever between me and that family. Where she just started parking it just to be a bitch. Because she used to park all the way on. She parked across. She never parked there. But the moment I parked there a couple of times, then all of a sudden, they're going to start putting the cans over there. And all. Just stupid shit. But no, I've never had no beef with these people. I don't even, like, to be honest with them, I don't even know them people like that. Other than I grew up. We've never had no beef with them people. So that's how I know it's demonism. But then that's why I'm sitting here watching. Like I said, I watch it happen. People start shit with me, and then I watch the shit that happened to them. And I'll never put no curse on nobody. I might take it to God. And then now at some point, some of that shit's funny now. But before it wasn't funny. But I don't need it. Like once God pulled me out that world, I was able to get my healing, or get all that shit off of me. Because that's why every time you go around the world, you sitting around people, they all filled with spirits and shit. That's why you see people mad for no reason. And you see people that want to start a fight with you for no reason. All that shit is spirits. You got to get deliverance from that. And that's why I said if you go to church, I'm not saying all of them, but how many of your churches talk about deliverance and healing? How many of your churches call you up and pray over you or put some holy oil on you? Y'all probably think holy oil is stupid. What's that supposed to do? But yet it's in Mark chapter 6. I use holy oil all the time. If y'all knew how many times I heal myself, like, this ain't no game. It's only a game if you make it a game. It's not no game. I'm an ordained minister of God. Ain't nothing funny about that. That's a serious commission. Now, y'all been trained to laugh. Oh, he sounds so stupid. If he knew how stupid he sound, then you be in a fucking accident. But you might not be spared like Brother D was. That might be your last day for running that mouth. So this vehicle, been there, just been parked there. But because they come and they be switching cars and everything. And all this is going on at the same time she leaves. So it looks like it's one of the vehicles, because she be switching vehicles now. They be doing all kind of crazy shit in that house. Like just crazy shit. So this vehicle is look good. It's a good looking vehicle. It's an SUV, license plates on it. Nice clean car. Good. So I'm thinking, well, did she get a different car? Like, we don't know what's going on. So this is the day that cop was out there, but that's why he was out there. So whatever happened, all I know, I was told, this was after I saw the cop. Otherwise, I would have put it in the video. But somebody said to me later on, oh yeah, that vehicle out there, somebody put a note on it. So I'm like, well, why would somebody put a note on it? I thought that was associated with them witnesses, my neighbors. So I go out to it. Well, a couple of things happened. But when I talk about this, it detracts. But this time I got to. So it was a squirrel that was... it was a squirrel. He's watching the whole thing. He's on top of our shed. But he's watching the whole thing. You know? But like you said, that sounds stupid. Why you tell us that? Because later on, where that squirrel was, the exact same part on the tree. And that's the tree I told you that was shaking one day, the branch, but wasn't nothing out there, and it wasn't windy. And that branch was shaking crazy. That same tree. And that tree is in their yard, the witness's yard. But it goes over the fence into our yard. See, this is shit that matters. It just sounds stupid when you say it. But that tree had a bag. Somehow a bag with all the wind or whatever. A bag stuck to that tree. It was up in the... I had to really try to get it and get that bag off. But this is the same thing with that truck that's connected to their house. So these are all messages. And they say, well, they might be personal messages just for you. Yeah, but then why are we talking about birds at 12 a.m. and all that? You understand? So it's not. And if you knew how many times I saw, like one time I saw a UFO over that house, and then another time a strange light was coming on. For September 23rd, they did this massive cleaning of that house, and it was so loud that I was angry because they had this machine that would literally run all day long for at least 10 days, and I was pissed off. And plus, I'm thinking, okay, wow, summer's over with, things will quiet down. But that's when everybody started turning it up. This is why I tell you it's demonism. Like this lady next door, she would leave the window open. Now, what black person leaves their window open in the wintertime? And now she's yelling and screaming and playing all this loud-ass music. Now, the relative I had that got attacked supernaturally when I was reading Psalms 50, that's how they were, just loud. But these are people that got spirits on them. That's why, but I be trying to tell y'all hell is real. Because if you just be quiet, you can see it all around you. All this crazy shit. So this woman, she was loud, always loud, window all wide open, loud, playing the music all loud, and all this crazy shit. It was like it was a resurrection of my sister, to be honest with y'all. Just unnecessarily loud-ass noise. And this is in the wintertime. In the summertime, I kind of understand. It's hot, people find. I understand in the summertime, but this is now the fall or winter. So now that woman fell out. This is why I tell people, stop fucking with me. That woman fell out. They had to carry her ass up out of there. And I ain't heard her since. They carried her ass out. I mean, I don't know. Now, this is at least a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. But the cops came. And what was funny was almost every day the cops was in front of that house, stopping the cars and all that, because that day they'd probably still be wilding. But I keep trying to tell cats, stay prayed up, because that's the times we live in. So when they carried her out, if I've heard her, it ain't never been as loud as it used to be. And I mean, it was to the point you would literally almost hear her every day. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So ain't no bag blown up in no tree. So why all this happening at the same time with this vehicle? See, these are all signs. Don't nobody know whose car this is, this SUV. They put a sticker on it telling you how to move it. They still don't know. And I think that's why that officer was parked where he was, because he was writing up a report. And I guess they're trying to get some type of information or whatever. And it's another female that be in our neighborhood that be parking. You come outside the vehicles out in front of your house and all, like on the side of your house and all that. And she parked across the street, and now she parked up the street, right across the street from this other house that burnt down on January 1st, possibly 2012. That's the only house fire we ever had, which are being rebuilt now by Mexicans. And just last night, there was some red light that was coming off the door of that house. Some strange red light. Because I always tell you I be seeing red a lot. Now, I don't know how that was done. And that's the same area of the house where something came in front of our house one night. This thing is up in the sky. It's going all crazy or whatever. And I only saw it one time. And I wasn't the only one that saw it. Because the person said to me, she said, you always following stuff. I said, well, maybe it's following me. I said it came to my front door. I didn't come to its front door. So this thing is up in the sky. And I don't know what it was. I really can't tell you what it was. I talked about it before. And I've never seen it before. Because if it was a drone, how come you never see it again? And how come the only reason why I saw it was the day I had to leave the crib to go pick somebody up from the train station. So this is divine timing. You're meant to see it. So when I'm riding down the street with this person's a lot older now. Because the earlier version would have acted like they ain't hear me. Or they would have just said, oh, you act like you always seeing stuff. Like they finally said it. But they would have said it then because I was like, is that a UFO? And then I didn't want to bother them with it because I know that's how my older sister told me. So don't be sharing that information. Because she ain't want nothing to manifest. She said, so I don't do it. I keep it to myself. So then the person said, I tried to clean it up. I said, no, that ain't no UFO. It's probably a plane. But just the way it was moving. I said, is that a UFO? And I said, then I tried to clean it up. I said, no, it's probably just a plane. Then that person said, no, it is. There's something strange with it. So where we were coming into the neighborhood. We was on the other side of the highway. But we was coming into the neighborhood to come home. And that thing, that's exactly where that thing went. So I said, I'm going to drive through this neighborhood and see if I can see it. So I let the person out and whatever. And then I took my car and I went through the neighborhood to see where this thing was. Flying all kind of crazy maneuvers and all kind of crazy shit. So I couldn't find it. So when I pulled my car and stopped, that's when that thing was right there. Right where that other shit was I'll be telling y'all about. It was right, like it's right at my front door, but I'm still in the car. And that thing just hovered and stayed there. So what the fuck is this? But I was happy. I like good. That for whatever reason that day I was real happy about it and shit. So it wouldn't go away. So it was still there. So I went in the house, and then it was still at the front. It was like literally like at the front door, but up in the sky, just hovering there. And then I said, so I started looking at it and stuff. And then I called the person. I said, look at it. And she says, that's when she said, you always following stuff like this. I said, I think it's following me. It's at my front door and shit. And then when it went down right on that street. Because that street is it went down, but it was just woods. It was a lot of trees at that time. They've been cutting trees, so it might not be as many. It went down on that street. And I never saw it again. Never saw it. And I think if somebody got a drone, you would see it. Like, how you going to spend that much money for a drone and never play with it? And plus, if he got a drone, this is the weird part. This is at night. I thought I hit pause. I was checking to see if that thing came. Anyway, this is at night. So who's going to be out there playing with a drone in the nighttime? And plus, that drone, if that's what it was, I don't know if it was a drone. Because I never saw it again. This is what I'm trying to say. Why was it way over in the other neighborhood? You know what I'm saying? If you're going to play with something like that at night, you might hover above you or, you know. So that was some weird shit. But I think they do have monitors that they could follow it. So they could see the same thing the drone could see. But still, it's at night. So that was some weird shit. So that was the area that was the street where something red was hitting that door. But the reason why that door is important, that house to burn down I'm talking about with the red on the door, that's like Passover. Since we talking about the moon, because that's what happened. They put red over the side of the door or something. Because there was no reason for no red to be over that door. But the only direction that, if it was a reflection of something, which y'all gotta, I'm asking y'all, but how come I've never seen it before? Now, if I see red on that door again, I'll mention it. Now, the other day when I got up, I forget how long ago, maybe within the last week or so, the neighborhood was just dead. In fact, cars that are normally in driveways were gone. Like, you just pick shit up. But that same area where that whatever that thing was lowered, that thing that was in front of my front door lowered down, that same area, like I looked at like I just be watching everything. But there's a back house. The back of the house. It was light on upstairs. But it was bright as I don't know what. And like that time of day, if somebody got a light on in their house, you shouldn't be able to see the light on. Because nobody else's house was like that. That's that same area where whatever it was lowered down was in that area. And like I said, they've been cutting trees and shit. But I mean, I've always seen that back of that house. And I've never had a light come that bright. That was some weird shit to me. I'm like, wow, it's bright out here. Don't nobody's light be that bright. And I just looked at the whole neighborhood. But it was just weird because a lot of cars were missing that are always in the driveway. And just strange ass shit. And that's also the house in front of that one had weird smoke coming out of it and shit one night. And if it was just a normal chimney, you would see that more regularly. Because I'm always looking out the window. So, what I'm trying to tell y'all is it's just deeper than it's just deeper than that. And I feel like this, if God's showing me the messages he wants it spoken about. Because this is divine timing. And like I said, I've just done a lot out here for people that are awake. And that's why I say, when you have somebody that see what you do, and they're like, wow, man, that's amazing. And wow, 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 thanks for waking me up. Right? And then say 2 or 3 years go by, and now it's like, oh, man, he talk about the same old thing. Well, then you fell asleep, not me. And I be telling cats, you got to watch how you come. Because God's watching all of this. And he will strike that ass down. And that's why I keep telling cats about the book of James. And that's why in the book of James, he said that's why your people are getting sick. And they're not getting healed. And that's why your people are getting sick and falling around you. And when he say falling, like going dying. Because you're not appreciating sacred shit. Because the good news about it is this. Like I'm going to tell you again. Say you want to do something different. You got every right to. You ain't never hear me put nobody on blast for doing something different. But don't fake the funk. Don't act like you a man of God 1 minute and then you doing shit that a man of God shouldn't be doing. Especially if you trying to associate yourself with me, because you actually making me look bad. And don't ever put my name in your mouth unwarrantedly, because you could die. You could be everything. People around you could fall off. Because again, God don't see everything these people. This is YouTube. They don't see me helping these little peons. Or putting money on their account. Or helping them with all kind of... They don't see all that. They just see you mouthing off. And God's like, man, this ungrateful bastard. So the point of the videos, the world is changing. Things are happening. It's a world all around you. And then, see, now the reason why that house is important, see, you have to understand there's a Mexican connection to these prophecies. Now you hear the Hebrew Israelites say, not all of them, but some of them tell you the connection. And you hear other people talking about it. And see, my twin is a Mexican. She says she's a Mexican American. So there's a Mexican connection to all of this. This is all past life stuff. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You can't be confined to this life. Because this life is about the burn and the fire. It's a matrix. It's not real. And the Bible tells you that. The Bible even says matrix. God's about to burn all this up. So everything you see, even when I told you all about Razorhaig was right over the house. The other house with a Mexican. See, I got different Mexican residents. That's the other Mexican house. That's the south. That's the northeast. And it was right. Razorhaig was right over that house. But that house, inside of that house, is a house with a female who look exactly like my twin lives. And I know her too, because me and her have just stood there and looked at each other. And if she was ever outside, if I came outside, she'd come right there and shit. Like on numerous occasions. All kind of strange shit with her too. But I never let her escalate. Because I understand the supernatural. You can't follow everything. Like if you follow, like, we're all soul families. That's why you might, if you're around anybody long enough, you're going to see similarities. So I don't care who it is. That's why people say, oh, the feeling is so strong. Yeah, it's going to be strong because you're all from the same soul family. But that doesn't mean you escalate it. Because I got some person trying to stalk me now, right in this county. Literally, only 10 minutes away, if that long. And she been going out her way to try to connect for like 2 years maybe or more. But I'm like, nah. You understand? God is always going to put you in a situation of temptation. You say it's the devil, but the Bible makes it perfectly clear it's God. It's the Holy Spirit that took Jesus to the devil. It's God who told Satan to go test Job. And I'm sure God knew what happened in the Garden of Eden. It was like good cop, bad cop. So that door that had that red spot on it, that's the door. The people that used to own the house are called the bulls, because you had to sacrifice a bull in order to go into the kingdom. That's in the book of Psalms. David said that. So when you got red on a door, that's making a sign of Passover. And when you talk about California, like that female I'm talking about, she definitely got some type of Aztec in her bloodline. Whether that's ancient Mexicans or not, I don't know. Whoever the Aztecs were and stuff like that. But she definitely got that in her bloodline, because I've seen tons of pictures of her and her family and the people around her. And remember, they was building type of pyramids. They wasn't building the same type of pyramids in Egypt, but they was building pyramids too. So this is all past life stuff, and there's messages in all of it. But in this particular life, this is what people don't understand. We're at the end, which means God can wipe everything clean. Now, according to him, at the end, the last day, he burns this whole thing out. He brings people into the spirit realm. But anybody that doesn't meet his requirements for entering his presence, they get burned up in hell. And since this is God talking, you be a fool to say, oh, well, you know, oh, I don't believe that. We've always been here. We'll always be here. We're immortal souls, and you can't kill us. And if we die here, we'll just resurrect somewhere else, or maybe in another dimension and all that. Because he's not saying that. And this is God. So you either believe it or not. And that's what that other dude says. Because if you don't believe it, I ain't mad at you. Sometimes I wish I didn't believe this shit. No disrespect to nobody, but to be quite frank, sometimes I wish I didn't believe it. Because then I could go out and do what the fuck I wanted to. But since I can't find no way, see, I went toe to toe. This is what y'all don't understand. See, if I say certain things, y'all never gonna get it. Because if you don't want to grow, you're not gonna grow. So certain stuff I just can't tell y'all. But when it came to that Bible, I went toe to toe. My sole agenda was to prove God wrong one time. I said, if I could prove you wrong one time, you ain't no God, and I don't have to serve you. Now, I said that like years ago, decades. And I would sit there with that Bible playing, just waiting for that one move. God, and when I thought I had him one time, but then he showed me some shit, I said, man. And they used to think I was crazy in my job, because I was doing this at my job, because I was a telemarketer. And I would be studying the Bible while I was taking calls and shit. And my boss tried to shut me down. I said, nah, you ain't shut me down, because I'm doing my job. And he tried to shut me down once. He didn't do it. Then he tried to shut me down again. He still didn't do it. Then he finally left me the fuck alone. And I kept on studying the Bible. And the gentleman who eventually became the pastor of the church, what they called it, the temple, that I was going to. But the woman that baptized me, she's no longer alive. But before she died, the woman that anointed me, I was no longer at that temple, but he just showed up there. But this is God. This is why I keep trying to tell you. So this is why I got to talk about stuff like this, because it's what God is showing me. But I'm saying we met at a doctor's office, to be honest. And he had been looking for me. But he didn't know I was a member of that temple. This is God. So we're sitting in the office. And I don't remember him, because now like 12 years have gone by, or 15 years have gone by since I seen him. At least 14 years. So I don't know who he is. And I got heart trouble and everything. At that point, my blood pressure, everything's high, and my memory's all fucked up. And he's like, yeah, he's talking to me. I said, who are you? And then I said, oh, yeah, I know who you are, yeah. And then we was talking, then I found out he was a pastor. I said, wow, you're the pastor of the temple I used to go to? I was like, wow, I know this is God. He said, yeah, you're the person I need to talk to, because you got all our website information. I said, yeah, I do. He said, I got to talk to you. So I came that night, and I saw the pastor who had anointed me, because she literally built that church, that temple. And then he said one thing that's amazing. He was talking about me. He said this dude used to be taking phone calls and studying the Bible at the same time. He said I don't even know how that's possible. That's what he said. But they used to watch me, and I would be studying the Bible, and they would think I was crazy. They thought I had lost my mind. But I just saw how smart God was. Like, you're not gonna trap this dude. That's why I said my loyalty. Niggas talk gangster. There ain't nobody more gangster than God. That's why I say they don't know him. You don't want to study. You don't want to pray. You don't want to spend time in the scriptures. So you either going to do wrong, or you want to follow a person. But you can't follow no person. Just like this dude, he literally followed me for about 4 years. Supported and everything. Then all of a sudden, he went through some type of crazy shit. Because you was following the man. You should have been studying. That's why I come out here with scripture. And I got tons of scriptures. That's why right now, more recent years, I don't do the scriptures as much because there's tons of scriptures out here. If you're looking for the word of God, it's tons of word for word, verse for verse scriptures. But if you're looking to follow a person, you ain't never going to understand me. Because I'm way advanced, bro. And I'm sorry if that makes you upset, but it's still a fact. This is 40, almost 50 years of studying God's word. We could never be on the same level. Don't follow a man. I'm just a man. That's why I'll never come on camera. Like, I'm sick of getting stalked. Like I said, some female I'm supposed to be doing some type of business deal with. And then she says to me, oh, I'm having trouble doing this. I said, I know everybody has trouble. Just stay with it. You'll get through it. Just stay with it. Oh, well, I'm still having trouble with it. Well, you know, I noticed you're right here in the same county I'm in. I could probably, let's say I come over your house tomorrow. I said, you ain't coming over. What the fuck? If I knew you were in Jersey, I wouldn't have talked to your ass. I'm sick of getting stalked. That's demon spirits. If you want the word of God is out here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And guess what? You can go anywhere. You can go to Blue Letter Bible and click a button and listen. There's websites you can go to play the Bible every day. So why the hell do you have to meet me? So then she was getting, and I understand it. I understand you got some, I understand the whole soul thing. But I know it, but I understand the soul thing. There's a whole bunch of people. They could take you with somebody you hate and put you on an isolated planet and y'all need each other to survive. By the time they come back, y'all two going to be best friends. Because you got past the matrix, you got past the silly ass racism, you got past the stupid shit. It's not that difficult. Just like I said, twin flame, twin souls. If they would just get past the stupid shit, they would have unbelievable love. But they don't want to get past the stupid shit. And God says, listen, I come first. So that's a done deal. If you really believe in God, God come first. You ain't going to have time for no silly shit. Like I said, if I'm with some female and she's sleeping with other men, and she talking about she don't want, then get your ass out. Divorce, motherfucker. That's a no-brainer. You don't want it. You're sleeping with other men. How the hell am I going to look you in your eyes and shit? Divorce your ass. Let God deal with you. And in the future, when you get some common sense, maybe we can at least have a conversation since we probably got kids together. But right now, you want some crazy demonic shit. You don't let spirits get inside of you. And now your ass is crazy. Because if you had any love for God, you wouldn't be breaking his commandments repeatedly. I'm not out here with this dumb shit. It's not as hard as you make it. Because if it's something you want, it becomes easy. But when you don't want it, you'll make every excuse in the book. You're going to blame me? Oh, it's my fault. Somehow I have something to do with the way you feel right now. Oh, it's my fault. So like I said, so this female just kept going. And I just put her on block and left it alone. So at least a year or two went by. Well, it's been a while. I'll put it that way. But it's been a while. It's been a nice while. So then she comes out the blue again. So like I said, I'm talking to her. I do whatever I'm supposed to do. I do it because it's business. And I can tell she don't even learn nothing. Her first thing again is, oh yeah, I want to talk to you, or blah blah blah. So I'm like, nah. So I just stopped talking. I just continue because like I'm sick of hearing it. Then I hear from her for a while. Then she hits me with an email talking about, oh, I'm even closer to your area now, and blah 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 blah. And I said my business policy is it's an online business. It's gonna stay online. I don't care. You could live next door. Like, and I'm real funny about that because I've been stalked too many times. Because the devil will do anything. So if you're looking for God, like I said, it's a perfect place to go. You have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, verse by verse Bible study. If you're looking for God. And again, if you're looking for something, then that's totally up to you. That's why I said I finally realized, like these people that did what they did, I'm glad they did it. because it helped me realize that no matter what you do, if they really don't love God, if they really don't want it, they're not going to get it anyway. And again, I'm not God. God's already got a plan. Because it looks like to me, but I don't know. But it just looked like to me these Hebrews had always been a pain in his side. But he got a dance relationship with them. He always did. This is what they do. Like because of Abraham and because of Messiah and all that, he's just going to flip it. Like it's just going to be over. Like the wicked just going to go into hell. The earth is just going to burn into fire. And then all these people is just going to be in a new realm. And then when you go into that new dimension of that new realm, you ain't going to be the person you used to be anyway. Because he would never let you come into his presence with this bullshit that you're doing now. But ain't no man coming to save you. Ain't nobody going to give you no massive exodus out of America. No stupid ass shit. You getting ready to go into the presence of God. You getting ready to go into spirit. So you can either believe it or not. I could care less. I'm just going to do my job. I can't worry about this shit no more. Because it gets to be too much. I don't want to deal with no little peons. I don't want to hear nobody talking about no pimping and no stupid shit. No silly ass shit. Because the bottom line, I know how it can be. I've been down the same road. But if you got a problem with some type of women, then date a different type of woman. Because every woman ain't going to do the same thing. Like me, I choose to be single. If I really wanted to be in a relationship with somebody, I would. But it takes too much. It's too much vanity. And somebody that just wants too much attention. That belongs to God. It's that simple. And I'm called to do what I do. That's why I see all the supernatural stuff. I'm called to do what I do. So I can't just go against the calling. So again, somebody saying, well, you say the same. Well, this is God. So he's going to keep telling you. This is how he keeps you focused. He's going to tell you the same thing over and over again. But when you understand it, it's love. But if you still want things in the world, it becomes a pain. Because why? Because they think the world is over. Oh, the world's going to end. Like when they said the blood moon, the world's going to end. So those people are only serving because they really believe in the date. So when that date come and go, they get frustrated. And then they was worldly anyway. That's why the dude never had a ministry. Or he would come on his ministry channel once in a while, but he never had a ministry. Because he's really out in the world. And his wife is the boss. Oh, take me out, tour me, take me on a boat. Let's go here, let's go there. So he ain't never, and plus he got all these kids. So you ain't never got no time for God. But you faking it. And so when a day seems to go by and things ain't happening according to what you thought, you think, now you double questioning everybody. Now all of a sudden, I become a problem. When you've been a groupie for at least 3 or 3.5 years. But now I'm a problem. But that's because you was fake. You the problem. Not Gad. Gad ain't never been the problem. All Gad ever did was try to help people. You the problem. So now God is still moving. Just like with Moses. Moses knew what God was going to do. Now the rest of the people didn't. And apparently Aaron didn't know either. Because Aaron actually led the people into false worship. Now how the high priest going to lead the people into false worship? But what, a bull. And I just told you that house that burned down is bull. Now the Mexicans are building it back up. And now some strange red light was on that house. Like the Passover, the blood over the house. Just last night. And that's when I saw all that other crazy stuff. Like I'm telling you, them doves or whatever I saw. Because I'm saying the wings look white. The bellies was definitely white. I could see them. And it was almost ghostly. To be honest with you, it was like they came out. That's how I seen it. I don't know, bro. I'm only telling you what I saw. It was almost like they came. That's why I got scared. I be saying all kind of crazy shit. I don't get scared. But I actually felt fear. And some said, don't fear it. Look at it. And it was 3 just white birds. Just beautiful, though. That was the most mystical thing I ever seen in my life. And that was earlier this morning. Sometime a little after 12. So these are ways God talks. To hang in there despite all this bullshit. And you just do what I told you to. It's not your responsibility. These people going to keep fumbling and falling and lying and doing all the stuff they do. But you do what I told you to do. Now, let's finish up as I get out of here. So now I got this truck. I'm minding my own business. And so this person telling me about, there's something on the truck. So I go out there and look at this SUV. And it's a yellow police, whatever. Just telling them it's not a ticket. But it's like a yellow police note saying it's police department. You got to move this vehicle. Which we still don't know why it's out there in the first place. That's the more, why did they park? Why did they leave it? And like I said, it's another female to be doing that with her car. and she be doing some weird shit. Somebody else, she'll get another person's car, they pull off, and they'll come back. I don't know what that's about, but it's a lot of strange stuff in this neighborhood. But I just didn't like her in front of my house. But still, as long as I know she ain't no danger, I'll let it slide. I just take it to prayer. But getting back to this truck. So now this is how it gets real strange. So for some reason, I don't know what I did, but I was getting ready to come back where I go. I'm coming back into my room. And but something causes me to go back again. I don't know what I did. I don't remember. But I went back again, and at that point, the telephone rang. So I wouldn't even been downstairs. So when the telephone rang, it's for me. That's not my phone. I don't get no phone calls on that telephone. So then that person was like saying something about some, ask me, just stupid shit, about some type of survey or some shit. And it's funny because I used to do that type of work. So I don't know. That might have been a message from my twin. Because that's how your higher self and shit be work. Or just little synchronicities, little numerology, all that. I don't know. But it was just weird that right after all the shit happened with that truck, dealing with my neighbors. And all this is feminine energy right now. I'm just letting you know. Almost everything I've been talking about, from what I've seen, is all feminine energy. And it goes back to what Michelle Knight was saying about Venus. Michelle Knight was saying there's some type of career between Venus and career. There's some type of battle going on between Venus and the career and shit. So, I don't know. But it was weird. Because even that person said it. She said it's weird that phone rung right at that moment. See, because she's seeing a lot of shit. Because I'll tell you why. See, when she was younger, she was typical. Just a typical female. You know what I'm saying? Aggressive, whatever. African female, whatever you want to call them. African American, whatever you want to call them. But they just aggressive. So they don't got no time for the silly shit. The metaphysical shit she could care less about. Bad. It's all about what she, her gender, what she want, that's how she was. But now that she's older, she could see a lot of stuff. Because she be catching a lot of stuff. So, again, I'm just doing my job. And again, don't act like a groupie. Because I get that. I used to get a lot of people want to keep contacting me. And I be ignoring them because I know how people, like I might respond real quick, but I be ignoring them because I know how people could be. But then if I started trying to talk to them, now all of a sudden, they don't want to talk. You understand? So that's some groupie shit. And a lot of times, these be men. It's not always females. It be men. But that's some groupie shit. It's like, it seems unapproachable, so you want to keep approaching it. But then when it seems approachable, now you don't want it because it seems common. So this is just silly shit. So this don't have nothing to do with God. This is silly ass people. So that's why I said I can't keep doing that. And that's why I understand. Now, I was looking at Shy with 3 eyes. And that's what she was trying to say. She was trying to tell people that, you know I got this YouTube channel, but I also have a life. I have a daughter. I have a job. I have a life. And the people ain't like that. The people didn't like her numbers went down after she said that. You could go there right now and see that I'm telling you the truth. Right after she gave a video where she was trying to be honest, but they didn't necessarily like that. So it'd be a lot of silly shit out here. So as a man of God, you got to find out what your job is before God and do it like that. All right. So that does conclude this video. And I'm sure there'll be more messages, whether I give them or not. But that was a lot. When I saw them doves, I knew. And it's like I said, it's the same area where that white bag stuck on the tree, right above the shed. And that vehicle is right there. And it's been there. And then who that vehicle is or why somebody would park a vehicle there that long, that's crazy. And I don't even know if they're saying it's stolen or not, but it's just crazy. All right, this is Gad. I'm out.